Have you ever mistaken someone else's kindness for your own greatness? Then listen carefully, because this tiny mouse was about to learn a lesson he would never forget. One morning, a little mouse named Milo grabbed the rein of a gigantic camel named Kareem and began marching proudly across the desert. And amazingly, the giant camel followed him. Milo looked back and thought, he's following me. His tiny chest swelled with pride, and soon he began imagining himself as a mighty leader. Look at me. Even a giant follows my command, he boasted, completely forgetting one simple truth: the camel was following because he was patient and kind, not because the tiny mouse had conquered him. But then, their journey brought them to something Milo had never expected: a roaring, dangerous river. The moment Milo saw the rushing water, his courage vanished. His paws trembled, his chest collapsed, and the reins slipped from his hands into the sand. Kareem looked down calmly and asked, "Why have you stopped, my brave guide?" Milo swallowed his pride and finally confessed, "The water is too deep and dangerous. I will surely drown." Kareem stepped into the river without fear. The powerful current rushed around his legs, but the water barely reached his knees. Milo stared in disbelief. Kareem gently said, "Look. The water is barely knee-deep." And Milo replied, "To you, it is knee-deep, but to me, it is an ocean over my head." In that moment, Milo finally understood. What seems small to one person can be enormous to another. And what looks like power may simply be someone else's kindness. Kareem then gave him a lesson that changed his heart: do not claim to lead a giant when you have not measured your own strength. Milo lowered his head and admitted, "I was foolish." Then, instead of laughing at him or leaving him behind, Kareem offered his help. "Climb up." Milo climbed onto the camel's great hump, and Kareem safely carried him across the raging river. The mouse who once wanted to control the giant now simply trusted him. When they reached the other side, Milo smiled sincerely and said, "Thank you." From that day forward, he no longer tried to prove how great he was. He learned that true greatness is not making others follow you. True greatness is knowing your limits, respecting others, and having the humility to accept help when you need it. So remember this: never mistake another person's patience for your own power, and never let pride convince you that you are stronger than you really are. True wisdom begins when pride ends.